Hey guys, it's Matt Higgins. So in today's video, I want to revisit an old series, the history of planets from the prequel trilogy. And today's planet is the fan favorite of Coruscant. There's quite a lot to cover here, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, as far as we know, Coruscant was the birthplace of the human race. While it is not 100% confirmed, this is where humans started to explore the rest of the galaxy from. Being located in the core, Coruscant found many benefits from being centralized in the galaxy. However, the planet was able to distinguish itself from the other core worlds by discovering new hyperspace trade routes. It wasn't long before Coruscant became the economic powerhouse of the galaxy. And because of this, Coruscant was listed as 000 on all navigational charts. Coruscant found itself as the capital of the Old Republic and then the capital of the Galactic Republic when the Old Republic fell in about 1019 BBY. We know sometime well before the events of the Phantom Menace, a shrine was built on Coruscant to the Sith. To counteract this dark side nexus, the Jedi founded a temple there right on top of it. After the fall of the Old Republic in 1019 BBY, Coruscant peacefully remained the center of the galaxy up until the Naboo trade crisis. As we all know, the Naboo trade crisis saw the removal of Chancellor Finis Valorum and the installment of Chancellor Sheev Palpatine from Naboo. This event would be the catalyst to start the Clone Wars 10 years later. While the Clone Wars ravaged many worlds in the galaxy, Coruscant was left relatively untouched, only being subjected to occasional terrorist attacks, hostage situations, and the Zillo Beast attack. However, as public opinion started to turn against the Jedi and the Clone Wars, a major space battle would break out in the orbit of Coruscant. This battle was the result of the kidnapping of Chancellor Palpatine by General Grievous and resulted in the death of Count Dooku, the rescue of Chancellor Palpatine, and General Grievous fleeing the battle. In order to end the war, Jedi General Obi-Wan Kenobi was dispatched to Utapau, where Grievous was found to be hiding. A battle ensued, and it resulted in the death of General Grievous. Meanwhile, Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker was swayed to the dark side by Chancellor Palpatine, who is also found to be Darth Sidious, the Sith Master. Newly anointed Darth Vader is sent to the Jedi Temple to slaughter all the Jedi, along with many clone troopers. Darth Sidious enacts Order 66 in the meantime, which orders all clones to fire on their Jedi commanders. The Jedi Order falls, and Sidious is able to take control of the galaxy by framing the Jedi for an attack against him. Sidious sends Darth Vader to Mustafar to wipe out the Separatist leaders. Meanwhile, Yoda confronts Darth Sidious in his office and the Senate chambers. Anakin slaughters the Separatist leaders but is confronted by Obi-Wan Kenobi on Mustafar. Two simultaneous battles involving the Sith Lords ensue. Yoda is forced to flee, while Darth Vader's body is brutally mutilated after having 3 of his limbs removed and being burned by the lava of Mustafar. Darth Sidious brings Darth Vader back to Coruscant to receive his armor that we see in the original trilogy. After the events of Revenge of the Sith, the Jedi Temple became the residence of Darth Sidious. The area around the Jedi Temple became known as the Supreme Triangle, with the Jedi Temple being one of the 3 corners. The other 2 corners consisted of the headquarters for the Imperial Security Bureau and the Naval Intelligence Agency. The Coruscant cityscape was changed to match Imperial doctrine, with many statues and other Republic decorations being removed. Incidents of public unrest grew all the way through the Galactic Civil War. Meanwhile, with the destruction of Alderaan, many vigils ended up turning into full-blown riots as people discovered that the Empire was behind the destruction of Alderaan. Deadly force was used to quell the riots and resulted in a permanent curfew. 2 days after the riots, Imperial stormtroopers were going door to door and arresting any Alderaanians that were present. Activity on Coruscant significantly decreased after this, as people stayed indoors for fear of being targeted as a possible rebel spy. As anticipated, many residents of Coruscant were arrested and brought in for questioning by the Empire. After many years of living in fear, Coruscant residents were overjoyed by the news of the death of the Emperor and Darth Vader and the destruction of the second Death Star at the Battle of Endor in 4 ABY. Those who were rejoicing in the streets began to destroy Imperial property. The Empire was quick to intervene and ended up firing indiscriminately at the crowd. This became the tipping point for Coruscant residents as a full-scale civil war ended up breaking out on the planet. Meanwhile, in the Federal Center, a struggle for power took place. Grand Vizier Mas Amedda was deemed too weak to rule by many Imperial higher-ups. This resulted in many Imperial higher-ups either completely abandoning the Empire or attempting to take over the Empire themselves. This struggle for power proved exceptionally fatal, as the Grand Vizier was unable to call on the Imperial Navy to support the ongoing civil war. After many months of fighting, the Imperials found themselves barricaded in the Federal District. Not much later, around the time of the Battle of Jakku, Mas Amedda was essentially a captive of Counselor to the Empire, Rax. Rax kept him holed up in the Imperial Palace because of fear that he would turn over the Empire to the New Republic. With mounting pressure and a serious defeat at the Battle of Jakku, the remnants of the Empire agreed to sign the Galactic Concordance, effectively ending the Galactic Civil War. What was left of the Imperial government became a provisional government on Coruscant to ensure a peaceful transition from the age of the Empire to the New Republic. This provisional government had very little real power and was under observance by the New Republic at all times. In order to prevent a repeat of the bloodshed caused by the Emperor, the New Republic stripped Coruscant of its title as capital of the galaxy. The New Republic decided to have a rotating capital that would move every few years and be voted on in the Senate. Coruscant remained relatively at peace, appointing many senators to the New Republic Senate over the years, up until the events of The Force Awakens, which is where we will end. So that is all I have for you guys on the history of Coruscant right now. Stay tuned to the channel for any updates in the future as Episode 9 comes out and future Star Wars novels or comics or TV shows. Other than that, guys, have a great weekend, and may the Force be with you always.